Dzień dobry, namaste, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? It's Ken at 10, and here we are live yet again for your view. So hi, how are you doing? Hope you had a nice bank holiday weekend. Wasn't too much of a washout either, was it? The weather was rather nice. We took the opportunity and went away to a little country cottage, roaring fire. It was absolutely beautiful for my wife's birthday, my lovely wife. Hi, Maria, if you're watching. And had a great time. Hope you did too. One of the great fallacies about property is everyone says, you know, how busy it's going to be of a bank holiday weekend. And our experience is the opposite is true. It's normally really quiet. People take the opportunity to be with their families and do other things, generally speaking. So very rare that it's busy on a bank holiday as far as viewings are concerned. Of course, a lot of people look at the numbers, you know, they look at the Rightmove stats and they say, oh, lots of people view properties over a bank holiday weekend. And that's true, usually because they're sat at home bored and wondering what their home value is, not really about, you know, being interested in the wider market. So here we are today, 58 days now. We've got the countdown still on screen there, as you can see. No green screen today, sorry, bit of a rush around. And yeah, 58 days. So under 2 months to go before the first stamp duty deadline of June. Had a really interesting chat with Mike Day, one of the great industry commentators, and we're going to put that out on video for you and a podcast. And he was fantastic. Always is great to talk to Mike. He's got such enthusiasm. He's really is the lifeblood of buying and selling property. And you know, we love property, and so does Mike. And it's just lovely to hear his take on stamp duty, the market, what's going on. In terms of what's going on generally, still very busy on sales valuations. You know, a lot of people, you know, one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of people now are realizing they're not going to make that deadline. And they're saying, you know what? It's not a deal breaker. A lot of them are saying, you know, £15,000 one way or another. It's a lot of money on the one hand, but in the scheme of a £500,000 plus transaction, it's actually quite a minimal part, especially when you consider the inflation that's been caused by the deadline in the first place, which is probably, and in most cases, actually higher than the 15,000 saving you're making. So interesting dynamic. In terms of sales, really, really busy on young first-time buyers as well, which is really great to hear. First-time buyers are returning. Long may it continue. We've said for a long time, first-time buyers are the key to unlocking the wider market. You know, we've been very lucky with the stamp duty deadline pushing the market. If it wasn't for that, I'm convinced that it would have been fairly flat and just starting to come out around now. But what we're finding is that towards the end of this first deadline of June, more and more people are taking the opportunity to think about their future plans, realizing that it might be a good time. Now we're coming out of lockdown. You know, people they've been locked up for a long time now. They want to make life decisions. They want studies. They want outdoor space. They want to move areas. You know, they want to go out to the country. The most popular thing, if I had a pound for every time somebody had said to me, want to change your lifestyle, we're going to move out to the country or the coast or somewhere entirely different. I do wonder how many of them, when they actually get there and realize that Deliveroo doesn't deliver and that Costa's not around the corner, might find it a bit of a culture shock, and that your neighbours, by the way, want to know what you're doing every day. I do wonder how many Londoners will feel about that. Certainly it's something that many people haven't talked about yet, but I expect there'll be a few people that make that change and then decide that they miss their friends and they miss London, the greatest city in the world, as you know, many of you will know, I think about it. So we're running through all the valuations and viewings and things from the weekend. Lots of new things coming on. We've got an auction coming up as well. Great auction lot coming in too. Lots of investment properties as well. So good cross-section of things available, which is great to see. In terms of lettings, starting to pick up. People are starting to rent again in London, which is a great relief to many landlords I know. It's been tough, been really tough for landlords, especially when you've got a vacant property to find quality tenants, and we're finding that that market is starting to open up again now, I'm pleased to say. So apart from that, busy on valuations for the rest of the week. The sun is coming out here in SW16, which is always great to see, but very blustery day indeed. So we'll put on that interview with Mike Day for you on the channels. I hope you enjoy that. It's also coming out on our podcast. Sorry to those of you who were looking forward to our podcast with Emily Cadmore, the financial advisor, but unfortunately the regulators looked at it and said that we can't talk about interest rates. She has a compliance side within her organization, and obviously they need to make sure that certain things aren't said. And one of the things that can't be said is reference to any interest rates, which takes some of the fun out of it, really, doesn't it? But there we are. That's compliance for you. So apart from that, hope you have a fantastic day. Stay safe, look after your family and friends, and we'll be back same time tomorrow. Take care.